The Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another afternoon edition of the Manchester United Transfer Roundup show for you. Hope you're all doing good. How you doing? Let's see who's in here. Let me give this a little refreshing and see who's in here. We've got, oh crikey, it's a bit loud. We've got Faith Divine. Hello, Faith Divine. Shivan Kashyap. Primot, how's it going? Becky Hope, how's it going? Thorfinn, what's crackalacking? Jonathan Gallagher, John O'Denton, Rocco Tick, hello Rocco Tick. Kayam's in the gaff. What's crackalacking, Kayam? Yeah, I'm a few minutes late. Sorry about that, lads and lasses. Anyway, we're going to get deep into it then. So we've got some transfer stuff to get through today. Hope you're all having a cracking day, by the way. Do us a favour if you haven't done so already. Smash that thumbs up button and get involved in the live chat as we go along. Come on, United. Right then. So let's get crackalacking. How's it going, Ms528? Hey, you've changed your name and added a couple of numbers. Griffo Chaz, Sar Voulon, what's going on, Sar? Vincent Buddock, Ramaz Fleming, Tweaking House, Jadon Sancho, Mark Diaz, Strip Pear, and every single one of you. Thank you very much for getting involved. So then, we've got a bit of information in regards to Jadon Sancho, in regards to Alex Telles, in regards to a couple of other players that have been linked to United at the moment. We know that this transfer window has been what you would probably describe as an absolute shit show from United so far, like literally flailing all over the place and having a complete melt is the summary of our window, really, like scratching around trying to save a few pennies. Very annoying, but in regards to Jadon Sancho, that's exactly how it's going to continue, lads and lasses. I mean, look, there's loads of reports coming out today, and of course there were some from last night, the bloody Mirror and all these melt publications coming out and saying that this £90 million offer had been tabled by Manchester United, or was ready to be tabled. Well, there's lots more reports coming out from even much more, I would say, reputable sources saying that we're still going to be hanging on to the end of the window, basically, but we will be tabling another offer, ultimately. Ultimately, we will be going back to try and get Jadon Sancho. That's why we haven't really moved on to another target yet, or been linked with anybody else seriously. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the crap news yesterday was it was going to be 75 million up front, 15 million later on. But I personally think that wouldn't be enough to get Jadon Sancho from Dortmund, because they kicked us back at the start of the window. Yes, we will go back with another offer, and it will be less than what they actually were demanding to begin with. But it won't be that much less, I don't think. That's just my personal opinion. I think it will be closer to £100 million. So, look, basically in regards to Jadon Sancho, it's very likely that he will be joining United, but not as likely that he will be staying at Borussia Dortmund. I just had a look at the odds, so the transfer odds, and he's definitely, he's with the bookmakers, he's much more likely to stay at Borussia Dortmund. Bookmakers obviously don't like to lose money, so they're not going to make Jadon Sancho to United second favourite for no reason. You know, it's obviously the most likely thing is he stays at Dortmund in the bookmakers' eyes. So it's quite interesting because obviously, every United fan wants him to come, and we're still expecting to go back and get a bid. But you have to remember, there's a lot of factors involved in this one. It's not just the fact that we want him and he wants to come. It's our shitty owners and our shite board not prepared to spend that extra bit of cash to bring him in. And also the fact that maybe Borussia Dortmund, the longer this has gone on, legitimately, maybe they don't want to sell Jadon Sancho right now. Maybe they'd rather sell Jadon Sancho in January. You know, it's only a few months' time. He could definitely help them out until then. He's going to be professional and keep doing what he's doing, I'm sure. So, yeah, I mean, it's not really a situation for Dortmund where they need to be forced or pushed on it, in my opinion. Whereas what United are trying to do is basically force them or push them on it. Because we're going to be ultimately going back at the end of the window with a cheeky little offer and hoping that they maybe would say, yeah, we've lost however much money in this pandemic. Maybe we should just cash in and take the 90 mil. But I personally think the United need to spend a little bit more in order to get Jadon Sancho in. £100 million, somewhere around that. But look, it's been reported far and wide that United will submit one final offer for Jadon Sancho. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that materialises. If it does, it will probably be near the end of the transfer window, in my opinion. James Cooper on the Sancho deal said earlier, the valuation Manchester United have is lower than what Dortmund want, but the deal is very much still alive. So that's what I would say at the moment. This Jadon Sancho deal, to give you an update on it, is completely alive right now. He still wants to come to United. Nothing's changed there. Ollie's still desperate for him. Ollie's definitely desperate for him and desperate for players in general. So he'll be looking to get the deal done. The only twats who are not looking to get the deal done are our fat cats upstairs, who are too busy doing God knows else what rather than bloody answering their phones and doing the business. So, Yes, it's a bit of a bad time for us, but hopefully we will go back with one final offer for Jadon Sancho. Like I say, I'm imagining it will be near the end of the window, which isn't far away now, guys. The fact of the matter is it's the 5th of October in about 10 bloody days' time or whatnot. So it's not that far away that we're expecting this Jadon Sancho bid. And if we are going to get the deal wrapped up and get it done and dusted, so we can actually have Jadon Sancho before the window closes, we're going to have to act pretty soon, lads and lasses. So let's just see what goes on in regards to that. I'm still 50-50 on it. I still feel like maybe we could get Jadon Sancho in this window if we're prepared to spend that 100 million. I don't know if Dortmund would be prepared to take any less than that at this stage, because obviously they didn't at the start of the window, and who knows. But certainly, as I say, with the bookmakers, if you look at the bookmakers, I think it's 1-2 that Jadon Sancho stays at Dortmund, and 6-4 that he comes to Manchester United. So that's pretty damning. That's actually pretty terrible, isn't it? Like, in terms of what the bookmakers think. I'm not suggesting you have a bet on Sancho joining Manchester United either. You know what I mean? Because you know what our board's like. They could easily drag this out and get him in January. We did it with Bruno. So why the hell wouldn't we do it with Jadon Sancho when there's that much money involved and they can maybe pinch a few more pennies? So it's gashtastic, lads and lasses. If you're just tuning in right now, lads and lasses, there's over 100 of you watching right now. Please do the pig a massive favour and smash that like button, lads and lasses. Leave a cheeky little thumbs up on the video. I can see Remes, Fleming, what's going on? Kayam, Mark Diaz, he says, is it still on? It's still on. Just like me having the potential to maybe become international scuba diving champion is on. But is it that realistic? I don't know about that. We've got Mark Diaz, Remes Fleming, Gabriel Lopez, Strip Bear, Gungshi's in the gaff. How you doing, Gungshi? Says, hello, lads and lasses of the brigade. Great to see you, Gungshi. Marco, Wayne Hodgkinson. Gungshi says, while these twats twiddle their thumbs over Sancho and Tellez, what's being done to address our problems at centre-back? So this is what's being done to address our problems at centre-back. Matt Judge is up in his office, twiddling his thumbs, looking at pictures of Chris Smalling from 2015, thinking, yeah, let's just have a little bit of that. That's personally what I think Matt Judge is doing, my friend, because he does not know his arse from his elbow. Primot comments, wondering how much of a role the pandemic is playing with regards to our crap window. I see another full-on lockdown coming soon. Well, that would absolutely suck. I mean, there's no chance of any fans being allowed into stadiums or coming back anytime soon, really. There was some talks of October, November, but that's all been scrapped. Obviously, Boris put an end to that. So rightfully so, really, because it's still a situation that is pretty much terrible. So we need to obviously stay on top of that. So they're probably not going to be having fans back. In terms of the loss of money, it's not going to be any more loss of money for them over that period. But I do think that there are a lot of clubs that are losing money in this moment in time. There's a lot of teams around the world who have lost all that match day revenue. United alone, it's understood that we lose about £4 or £5 million every single match day at Old Trafford, that there isn't fans allowed in the stadium. So, of course, United and the Glazers are feeling it as well. Maybe that's why they're reluctant to spend money and only shopping around for bargains and scratching around for this Alex Tellez deal, which is absolutely pitiful in terms of negotiations. Big God Bob, how's it going, mate? He says, Ed Woodward seems like the type to headbutt a pensioner in Poundland to get the last bag of pasta in a second wave of corona. Oh my God. He does. He really does. And maybe try and tamper with the packaging a little bit, and then at the till say, hey, do you know what? This has got a bit of filth on it here. 50% off. Do you know what I mean? Ed Woodward's the type of person who go around bloody Asda or Walmart, if you're American or wherever you're tuning in from. Go around there and throw cans of spaghetti on the floor to dent them so he can get a manager and say, look, this is dented. It needs a discount. That's the kind of guy Ed Woodward is. And that's actually probably his level. He should probably be actually managing a supermarket. That would actually make sense, and I probably wouldn't trust him to do a very good job of that as well. Oh, Ed, you fucked up the stock again, mate. We wanted 50,000 chocolate eclairs, not 5. What have you done, Ed? Where's the money, Ed? You know what I mean? It would be a bloody nightmare. But yeah, he is a clown of an owner, of a chief exec, or what even is he? He's not a director of football. He is the chief exec, but he's basically playing the role of director of football, which is wrong. He's not a football guy. So it's preposterous that we've even got that guy involved, really, in anything other than a financial department. Guy's a twat. Okay, then, let's get on to the rest of it then. So, yes, it's understood, just to give you an update, if you're just getting in, that United will submit a final offer, one final offer for Jadon Sancho sometime before the end of the window. In regards to the amount of that offer, we don't know about that. The Mirror were reporting yesterday 75 and 15, but that's the bloody Mirror. Do you trust that? Anyway, Obviously, what United have to do is go and table another offer. We still haven't really been linked properly with another winger of any calibre compared to Jadon Sancho right now. I mean, there are some other talks of players such as Ismaila Sarr and Ahmad Traore and a couple of other random players. But Jadon Sancho is definitely the cream of the crop, isn't he, if you're talking about the talent that we should get in. Now, Gungshi's got a great point there where he said, what are we actually doing about our centre-back calamity position at the moment? And it doesn't seem like we're doing that much other than maybe going for Chris Smalling to maybe stay. I don't know. But Eric Bailly is definitely going to be thrust in there, it seems, by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. He said some things today which we'll get on to later, which makes me think maybe they're just not going to bring in a centre-back. I definitely don't think that's going to happen, in fact. I would be very surprised if Manchester United bring in a centre-back in this window. Maybe January if we're lucky. But I'd be really, really surprised if that happened. Because look, he's been saying things about Bailly today, Smalling today, which we'll get onto in a little bit. But we definitely do need to bring a centre-back in, Gungsha. I 100% agree with you. Andy Luck comments, Ed would fill the trolley to get the checkout when the checkout assistance, that's £108. He would say, I will pay £90 for it. Absolutely. Or he would just come with a bag of coppers and be like, 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 10 pence. 12, 14, 16. Just until they go, just get out of here, Ed. You know what I mean? Just go. Just take your food and go. Jonathan Gallagher says, I would fire Ed Woodward in a second, pig. Me too. Matty Rushmeister, great to have you in here. What's going on the cop as well? Ed Woodward, what you doing in here, Ed Woodward? Pff, go and do some work, Ed Woodward. He comments, pig. When any player is injured, it's the medical staff's fault. When Eric Bailly is injured, it's his own fault, according to most people. Is that fair? I'm African and hate how some judge my bro. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. I think we are fully aware that certain players are injury prone, whether it's Eric Bailly, Luke Shaw, whoever. Certain players are injury prone. And I do think that Eric Bailly is injury prone. Maybe it's just because he's a little bit reckless for his own good. He's a very committed defender, to say the least. He throws himself into challenges, you know. He's very, very committed. And I love that. But he's also a bit reckless. And I think he would injure himself a bit more than the average player because he just lunges in and throws himself around. Luke Shaw gets injured too. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. I just think it's about him. In all fairness, he has been in and out the side a lot. We've always been saying about Eric Bailly that he could be like the new Vidic for us. He could be this awesome centre-back for us. He's got all the abilities, really, in terms of defensively that we need. Great in the air, strong, great in the tackle, all that, quick, all that, athletic. But the problem is, he's in and out the team, whether it's suspension, injuries, whatever, if it's his fault or not. But that is a big issue, I think, and he needs to try and have a good season here where he stays fit. And I don't know if that's possible. That's why we're getting, Tellez in for Luke Shaw, because it's very unlikely that Luke Shaw will stay fit either, because he's an injury-prone person as well. Gungshi says, I love Bailly. I just wish he could play more regular. Absolutely agree. He's a great defender. We just need him in the team. That's the issue. We just need him in the team. Dara Azizi comments, Tsimikas looks like a great signing. Yes, well, interesting one. We'll see what happens with that. OP Dragon says, Eric is a madman at the back. Albera Genta says, I am better than Lindelof. He will be a great officer. What does that mean, Albera? Kayam says, Dortmund have no reason to sell if United don't pay 108 million. They want Sancho to stay. There we go, lads and lasses. So you're absolutely spot on. Almost 200 of you tuning in right now, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Get involved in the comment section and smash that like button as well. But let's talk about Sancho then, Kayam. You're spot on. 108 million is what they wanted. Pounds, 120 million euros. Is that unreasonable? No, it's not unreasonable really, because it's a player that they want. If he's in their team, they're better than not having him in their team. If they sell him, they lose something. If they sell him, they lose 60 goals created or scored combined in the last 2 seasons in 52 appearances. That's what Dortmund lose. 60 goals in 52 appearances last 2 seasons. Pretty unbelievable, really. So then they're pretty aware of that it's going to be difficult to get a replacement for him. Yes, they could get Ismaila Sarr. Yes, they signed this young lad from City who in a year or two might be the next Jadon. But at this moment in time, they don't have a suitable replacement. So who are they actually going to get in? Who are they actually going to buy if Jadon Sancho does go? And the longer the time goes on in this window, and the less time that Dortmund have to actually get a suitable replacement that will get them somewhere near that amount of goals, then they're going to be less likely to accept, I think. So United have to pay them in order for them to say, yeah, you know what, with everything that's going on, we will accept the money, and when we'll just go and sign somebody last day of the window. Sarr, there you go, short-term fix, whatever. We've got the next Jadon in the youth ranks coming through. So maybe they'll do something like that. But United have to pay them for it because, like I say, he's such a fantastic player and he's only going up in terms of reputation and prestige and maybe valuation. I know he's only got a couple of years left on his deal, so that will only be true for the next 12 months. And then it's kind of like, well, he's not got long left, so his valuation will start going down, obviously, unless Dortmund want to keep him. So yeah, that is a factor. But United need to strike while the iron is hot. Like, if United just went and got Jadon Sancho now, he'd be our player for the next decade. Whereas if we fanny it around and wait until January, there's a possibility that he might end up going to a different football club that comes in for him. It depends. And if you left it a year, then in a year's time, every single football club will be going in for him because he would only have a year left on his deal and Dortmund would have to sell him and cash in that summer. So this is United's time to get him. We just have to actually go and get him, and it's not looking exactly 100% at the moment. Definitely not. In fact, like we said, the bookmakers' odds earlier are in favour by quite a large margin that he would be staying at Borussia Dortmund this window. And obviously United is the favourites to sign him, but certainly the most likely outcome in this window, it seems, would be that he stays at Borussia Dortmund. But it's understood United are going in for one final offer anyway, Lance and Nasser. So great stuff. Let's have a little vote in the live chat then. Let's see where you guys are at and what you think's going to happen. There's only 10 days left of the transfer window, remember. We've been going back and forth with Dortmund for what seems like an eternity now. So please do us a favour, have a vote in the live chat, smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that Jadon Sancho is going to be a red before the window closes. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think he's going to be a red. If you don't think he's going to be a red or anything else, smash another number like 69 dudes or something else. If you don't think he's going to be a red, but if you think he is going to be a red, smash a 1. Jim Joe Bobley with the 1. Marco says 1. Hope. Andy Luck 1. Flyest Kyung says 1. Plymouth says 2. Just can't see it. Cleon Gibson says 69 dudes. Strip Bear says 2. Rajon 69 dudes. Fernando Villa 69 dudes. Stay Clint says 68. What's that? Hey, no worries, bro. Gabriel Lopez 69. Yeah, there's a lot of 1s though. Most of the votes coming in. Mark Diaz with a 69. Eddie O2. How you doing, mate? 69, dude. A lot of people saying no, but probably the majority here are definitely saying yes. Jadon Sancho will be a red. So quite interesting. By the way, shout out to Eddie O2. Eddie O22 on Twitter. Check him out. For graphic design and the like. He designed the backgrounds for these thumbnails and that sort of stuff. So he's an absolute legend around here. Eddie O2, everyone. Gunshi says, sitting on the fence. Yeah, don't blame you. It's 50-50 in my eyes. RP0D says, Pig, I got here late. What's all this 69 business? Don't worry, I was just having a little vote in the live chat to see who thought Jadon Sancho would be coming or not. Turns out most people think that he will be coming. Let's get on to the next bit of information then, guys. Look. We'll see what happens with Jadon. We'll talk about it a little bit more in the video, but I don't want to dwell too much on Jadon Sancho because it is freaking annoying. Hopefully United are going to make that final offer come the end of the window or soon because it's running out. Time's running out now. So we're understood to be going to make one final offer. And it's been reported the valuation Manchester United have is lower than what Dortmund want, but the deal is very much still alive at this moment in time. Okay then, so let's have a little chat about another link that has come up today, which actually we discussed on the channel a few weeks ago anyway, because it was being talked about at the time, and it's also gathering a little bit more steam now, and I don't really see how this has got much speculation to do with Jadon Sancho, because this kid's only 18 and he's not really a proper Jadon Sancho alternative, but Ahmad Traore is being linked with the football club. It's been reported that Man United are thought to be tracking him. He's an 18-year-old Atalanta winger, and we're trying to sign him. He's an Ivorian, and basically he's not really going to be any sort of alternative to Jadon Sancho at 18, having played barely any games for Atalanta's first team. But he does have bags of potential. He is a dribbling machine, and he just looks like a great young talent at 18. So as getting a player in for one for the future again, it's a great signing for the future. But it doesn't really help us that much in the short term. It's great to have a bit of depth, though. Like somebody to come in and maybe give Daniel James a run for his money and stuff like that. Like just maybe give somebody a bit of an opportunity to force their way in. And he could be the next star. You never know. But he's not really an alternative. But we are understood that we are interested in him, and we've already made contact with Atalanta in light of a potential competition from other clubs. So it's been reported United have made contact with Atalanta and trying to get him before anybody else does because he's a hot prospect and a really good young talent. And look, we'll see. I mean, look, we're trying to get as many young players as possible in this window, it seems. That's what we're trying to do. And whether or not he would be in and around the first team, I don't know, having seen not very much of him, and the fact that he's playing for Atalanta and he's only played a handful of games for them even in the first team. So he's still a young lad with a lot of experience to get and gain. But he is a good player. He is a good young player. From what we understand, he's a very hot prospect. So I would welcome this, just like I welcome all the other young talents that United have signed this window, which doesn't help us at all right now. But in 5 years' time, it could help us a load. United have done some bits in this window signing youth players. We signed a bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-old wonder kids. This guy could be an 18-year-old wonder kid that we are looking to bring into our ranks. So there you go, lads and lasses. Not Adama Traore, no. But Ahmad Traore. It's kind of a bit confusing, isn't it? Because they've even got the same letters, just the other way round, basically. Maybe if his middle name was like A, that would be even trippier. But yeah, so what do you guys think about that one? Stick a 1 in the live chat if you would like to see Manchester United signed Ahmad Traore. Red Slays comments Woodward out, Judge out, absolutely Woodward out, Judge out, Glazers out, Twats out, get them all out, get your tits out. What? No, Glazers out. Waka Sakram says Atletico Madrid just signed Luis Suarez. There you go. Yeah, Luis Suarez. What a signing that is for Atletico Madrid. He's an absolute toothy melt bag. I can't stand Luis Suarez. What a rat. If ever there was a scumbag, I would say that was him. Because think about, he's racially abused Patrice Evra, this guy. How many people has he chomped down on like they're a steak? Like they're a fillet steak out there on the football pitch? A good couple. Giorgio Chiellini being one of them in the World Cup. He is an absolute toothy, goofy meltbag, that guy. And he's a great player. That's the annoying thing about him. He's one of the best strikers in the world over the last 10 years. He really, truly is. Like, just think about how insanely good he was when he was at the Scousers. He was banned for half the bloody season. He still banked in like 30-odd goals, He was nuts. And then obviously what he's done over in Spain as well. He's had some career, that guy. But he's still ultimately a complete douchebag, isn't he? He's a complete douchebag. Would you have had Luis Suarez at United, in all honesty? Could you have actually buried the past? Could you have actually had him? I couldn't. I could not have him. I don't care how good he is. To have racially abused Patrice Evra and also just that whole Liverpool connection, just how much of a scumbag he is, I wouldn't want him in United's team. Other than the fact that he's one of the best players in the world, that is a fact. He's a brilliant talent. And he'll probably get, 20 goals for Atletico Madrid this season in La Liga, I'd imagine, and he'll do really well. Michael J comments, Chewy Suarez. Dara Azizi says it was just a nibble. Yeah, just a cheeky little nibble, to be honest. But no, you can't be doing that. I mean, whose go-to is that? Whose go-to is, I'm just going to chomp into your flesh? That's a weird go-to, man. Like, he's obviously got something wrong upstairs. Not, I'm going to push you away and give you a cheeky little elbow in the ribs. No, I'm going to just sink my teeth into your flesh. That's Luis Suarez's modus operandi. Primot comments, I would not have watched a single match if Suarez was in a United kit. Good count. Good point. Good shout. Eddie O2 says, no Suarez. He's also a scumbag. Ex-Liverpool and the handball to deny Ghana in that World Cup, remember? Yeah, true, but that was kind of legendary, Eddie O2. I'm going to give him that one. Think of it the other way round. If that was a England player that did that or whatever, or for anybody watching around the world, like if that was somebody who played for your country, then obviously you'd think they were a legend, because that's what kept Uruguay in the competition in the next round. Is Luis Suarez doing that, getting sent off, and then Asamoah Gyan missing the penalty. That is what got them through. So if that was happened to an English player, I would think he was an absolute legend. So I'm not going to give him that. I mean, I did think at the time it was just a complete injustice. Don't get me wrong, it's cheating. It's actual cheating. It's just a complete injustice. But it's legendary cheating if it's for your team. Don't you think? Luke Nutley comments, Suarez is a shithouse legend. Would have loved him here. So funny, eh? So funny. Just think about that shithouse lineup, though. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see what happens this season, because it's a proper shithouse lineup. They've got, of course, Luis Suarez and Diego Costa up front. What a shit! Is that the ultimate shithouse pairing in world football right now? I think maybe it is. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think it's the most shithouse pairing in world football. But Luis Suarez going to Atletico Madrid, playing with Diego Costa, right? I mean, that is a shithouse pairing, to say the least. To say the least. But they will do some bits, I would imagine. They'll do some bits together. They will score some goals. They will piss off some defenders. They will rile some opposition teammates up. Gungshi comments, the funniest / most disgraceful Suarez moment was him pretending that Chiellini fouled him in the World Cup. It wasn't me, ref. He attacked my jaws with his shoulder. Yeah. He bites him and then goes to the ground like a melt. Oh my God. Gabriel Lopez says, good cheating to get your team forward. Maradona taking out England at 86 with a handball. Yeah, no, that is... I see what you guys are saying. I mean, it is pretty despicable. You're right. But, like I said, that just further goes to prove the point. It's horrible when you're on the receiving end of it, but Maradona is considered a legend for getting one over on the English over there in Argentina, especially with what everything happened before that World Cup and stuff with the Falklands and all that business. He is considered a legend for cheating the English. In fact, when I read his autobiography, and the twat was bragging about it still in there, saying that I felt amazing because I felt like I had cheated the English. Like scumbag, but if that was the other way around, you guys would be loving it, don't lie. Yeah, you'd be loving it. I'm sorry. You might go, oh, we cheated, but you'd be loving it. Matt Rush says we've got 110 likes on the stream. That is absolutely excellent, everyone. Thank you for getting in here today and watching this video and liking the video. If you have not done so already, please do smash a thumbs up on the video. That'll give us a big boost and help this channel out on the search and all that. So give it a cheeky little like if you haven't done so already and get involved in the comments. Stephen T.Y. says, hi, everyone. It's been a while. It has indeed. How you doing, Stephen T.Y.? You keeping well, pal? It's not been that long, really, but it's still great to see you back, though, Stephen T.Y. Paul Vanderbeek says, hiya, Mr. Pig. Hope you're well. I'm good, Paul. How are you doing today as well, buddy? Ruthless Sausage, how are you, mate? Dragged Kevlar. He says, imagine VAR back in Maradona days. Well, there you go. He'd have got buddy sent off, wouldn't he? Or he would have got a yellow card for trying to cheat or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Thank you very much there, Pancash Pal Hawani. He says, like, share, and subscribe, everyone. Yeah, if you want to give it a share on social media as well, that'd be sick. And if you are new to this channel right now, smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 30k. Gungshi says, Maradona at least was kind of admirable because he was so brazen about his acting. Yeah, no, he was pure scum. And you have to give him credit because in that same game, what does he do? He also scored that redonkulous individual solo goal from the bloody right side of the pitch at the halfway line where he dribbled it in. So he was just a crazy good player, Maradona. Definitely one of the best players to ever play the game, but a complete twat. Similar to Luis Suarez in that sense, really, because Luis Suarez is just a complete cheating twat as well. So yeah, I hear you. If there is a definition of somebody who's a cheating twat in football, it's got to be Luis Suarez. He bites people, he simulates, and of course he that thing that he did in the World Cup there to deny Ghana was absolutely terrible. Thank you very much, Paul Vanderbeek. Jonathan Gallagher says, Pig, the weather in Ireland is shit now. Typical. Oh, well, go down the pub and have a pint of Guinness, my friend. You're a fine man and your wife's a fine man too. I'm just joking, Jonathan Gallagher. But have a great day, mate. It's actually not too bad where I am at the moment, but it's cold as foot, though. It's suddenly got cold. Yeah, so... Ahmad Traore, a young 18-year-old lad linked with Manchester United, were understood to have made contact with Atalanta over the potential signing of this young kid. Now, we've added a lot of young kids to the team this window. This is just going to be another one, but this guy's a little bit older, a little bit more developed. He has played, I think, 7 times, or a few times at least, for Atalanta and scored a goal on his debut, in fact. One of the youngest players to ever score a goal in the Serie A. So he's obviously a good young talent. And Atalanta, they're a good team. They're a team that are producing a lot of good talents at the moment. So it's interesting. It's not much more than that at this stage. We'll see if United do it. And even if we do sign him, there's every possibility he's not really going to play for a while. But it's just nice to have another option there, as well as getting Jadon Sancho. This is not an alternative to Jadon Sancho. Let's just be bloody well clear about that. We need to get Jadon Sancho in this window. And if we don't get him, we need to get somebody who actually does have, some proper credentials and who is a really experienced top quality player. Not just a young kid or a championship Watford player in Ismail Assar, which would be a good option, actually. And that's harsh because they only got relegated to the championship recently. But you know what I mean? Like, we need somebody a bit better, really, at United. So there you go. He's also understood to you know, there's a bit of interest from some other football clubs as well for Adama Traore. That's the only issue. But he actually scored on his debut against Udinese, and he scored the 7th goal in a 7-1 fashion that day, aged just 17 years and 109 days at the time. And that strike made him the youngest player in history to score on his Serie A debut. In terms of goals and assists, he predominantly, he's sort of like a wide forward, and he's supposed to score a bunch of goals, but this is basing it on youth appearances, including games at every level. The youngster finished the 2019-20 campaign with 8 goals and 11 assists to his name in 27 total appearances. So those are some really good figures, but like I say, that's at every level. I think only 7 of those, or a handful of those, are actually for the Atalanta first team. So the rest of it will be, you know, for the youth setups and stuff. But still very impressive stats. He's from the Ivory Coast. He's raised in Italy. His family settled in northern Italy. And, you know, he sounds like he could be a really good player in the future. We'll see what happens with that one. I just wanted to bring it up. What's going on, Ali Altamimi? He says, will Manchester United sign any player? We'll get on to Alex Telles in a moment, actually, lads and lasses. But firstly, I just wanted to talk about this very quickly, which is Inter Milan, sell Milan Skriniar. They're seriously thinking about formulating a proposal of 18 million euros for Chris Smalling. But we're understood it's maybe in a few instalments, which I don't really... Maybe they're just trying to do us at our own game there. I don't know. Well, you offer this to clubs, so we thought we'd offer you a bunch of instalments. But anyway, no. So if that happens, they might also be interested. Roma are also interested in Chris Smalling too. So we'll see, that may happen. But also, like I say, Solskjaer's been coming out and saying some stuff, which we'll get onto in a bit. In fact, I'll get onto it now. He simply said in regards to Chris Smalling, he said, different things need to happen then. So somebody asked him in regards to Chris Smalling if he stays beyond the deadline day of the transfer window. And he just says different things need to happen then. So it's like, well, we'll see what happens. You know, we don't know at this moment in time. Basically, if an offer good enough comes in, we would accept an offer for Chris Smalling. But if the offer doesn't come in, then he's going to probably remain a United player and will probably be quite useful this season. Because like we said, Bailly might not stay fit the whole season. Lindelof's absolutely gash. Phil Jones absolutely gash. Twanzibi's injured a lot of the time as well. Who else is gash at United at the back? Rojo, you know, we're just not really going to play anybody else other than really Bailly and Maguire. I think that's got to be our main partnership at the back. And if not for Bailly and Maguire, then yeah, Chris Smalling is probably next on the list for me. I think he's better than all the other defenders that we've got. Mengi would be a good one to use in certain games, but let's say Bailly gets an injury or Maguire gets an injury, then Chris Smalling would be a good player to have around. He'd be a better player to have around than Phil Jones. So I'm not really bothered about Chris Smalling. I do think we should move him on. I think it's kind of a bad look that we're actually going back to Chris Smalling, but still, it's good to have the depth there. Only problem is we've got too much depth there, and it's all shit. But there you go. So he says he's not too keen on Solskjaer staying at the football club. Like, that's the sort of idea we're getting from that message, you know, that he's not really too keen. Different things need to happen, then he said. So he didn't say, no, we want to keep Smalling, we want to have him this season, he's a good player, I've got plans for Chris. No, he just simply said different things need to happen then. So it's another case of, will United be able to get rid of our players, our deadwood? And I'm not even saying he's necessarily the worst one, but he's still part of the old brigade that we should try and look to move on, the deadwood at this football club, and get somebody else in. But if that doesn't happen, then I guess it would be better to have Chris Smalling around the club than not. Get your votes in, lads and lasses. Smash a 9 in the live chat. Let's mix it up. Smash a 9 in the live chat if you think that we should keep Chris Smalling this season. Smash a 9 in the live chat if you think we should keep Chris Smalling this season. Hey, Stephen Duffy, I'm good today, mate. How are you? Ashley Jenkins, what's going on? He says, what about hijacking the Tottenham deal for Skriniar, pig? Maybe. I just don't see us doing it, though. We're in these negotiations with Sancho. I don't know if we'll spend any sort of money like that and get, you know, on big wages as well and things like that. I just don't see it. I think we're shopping around in the bargain bin. But, you know, I personally think he's a very good player, yeah. A lot of 9s coming in here. So there's a few 9s coming in. A lot of people do think Cleon Gibson, Mr. NLWT, hello, Stephen Duffy, Rajon, Ice Cream Gaming, how you doing there, Dawn? Everybody, yeah, most of you thinking that he probably would be good to keep around. That's interesting. Vatsal Jari says Twanzibi plus Maguire will be magic rather than Bailly plus Maguire. Yeah, interesting. I'd love to see Twanzibi get given more of a run in the team. He is only 22. I think he has looked good whenever we've seen him. Only problem with him again, he's out the team again. He's injured again. So we'll see if he can get fit and stay fit. Hamad Malik comments, Sancho has a fixed price of 120 million. That's what we understand. Yeah, it seems Dortmund are pretty firm on that. 108 million pounds. Will they budge a little bit? They'll probably budge a little bit, but not a lot. Like, if United want this player, we're going to have to go in before the end of the window and put in a £100 million offer. £100 million, somewhere around 110 million euros. That's a good compromise. They may well take that at this moment in time with the pandemic going on. So yeah, I hear you, man, but I do think we could still maybe squeeze a little bit off of that. But I'm not saying we should. We should just go and get the player now. Liam Hardy comments, Pig, we're getting Sancho, relax. Yeah, I don't know about that one, mate. If you're really that confident, go and place a bet, mate, because the bookmakers will give you good odds. You can get 64 on Sancho side of United now. 1-2 to stay at Dortmund, though. So what does that tell you? It means that in everybody's eyes, in all the bookmakers' eyes, he is favourite to stay at Dortmund. Now, there's varying factors for that, because United would have to pay somewhere in the region of 120 million euros or a bit less to get this man, which will we really go and do when we've got issues in other areas of our team? And of course, we've just lost 100 million because of the pandemic and all this shit this year. I don't know if we will. So we might go and try a little bit less, and Dortmund may not accept that. So they may just deny it, just because they don't want to accept any penny less than 120 million euros. They also may just go, no, sorry, we're not signing him simply because you've left it too late now. We told you at the start of the window, if the business was not wrapped up by August 10th, then Sancho would remain a Dortmund player this window. We told you that, Eddie Woodward, you human potato. We told you this, Matty Chubbs, you absolute clown. We told it to you. So that's your fault if you come back knocking on our door with your tail between your legs, last day of the window, offering the money that we wanted. Yeah, fair enough. I don't care if you offer 120 now. Now we want 150, yeah? They could well do that, because it's leaving them up shit creek at the last moments of the window without another player lined up. Maybe they do have another player lined up, but they would have to get somebody signed pretty quickly, and that would leave them exposed for a number of days or weeks. Who knows if they'll be able to get the man that they need. So yeah, they'll lose a lot of goals. They don't need to sell him. He's a fantastic player for them. He's going to be worth the same as what he's worth now in January or in a year's time. His contract runs out in 2 years, so anytime after that, they'll definitely sell him to somebody within the next year. Will it be United? It should bloody well be. Will we meet the transfer valuation of Dortmund? Maybe not. Will they sell him to us if we offer a lesser amount? Maybe not. There's too many yeses and nos and maybes in this deal to say definitively that we are going to get Sancho. So I disagree. I don't think we are guaranteed to get Sancho right now. The odds say that we're not going to get Sancho. Hopefully we do get Sancho. Hopefully our board and those clowns that run this club can see how desperate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is for these signings, and that the fans need something from our board in this window to say that, yeah, we are trying to make strides to challenge him for the bloody title. Because that is what us United fans should all be looking for. We shouldn't be accepting second-rate, second-best bullshit anymore. And signing these bargain players, we should be trying to make strides like the other teams do to challenge for the title. But our cases, our owners, they don't do that, man. Canton R7, hello to you, Canton R7. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. United Way's in the gaff as well. Says, hey, chat mods. Much love to the pig. United Way, great to see you. Much love to you too. Thank you for stopping by. Marb Durrani says, personal terms and agent fee agreed. Well, yes, that was agreed ages ago, to be fair. The issue has never been personal terms. The issue has always been the fee with the clubs. And that's always the issue with Manchester United for every single bloody deal that we have, guys. Because that's all we can do, is not negotiate well and try and scrimp and save and piss people off. Let's have you've brought me on to my next topic, really, which is simply that United are still negotiating for Alex Telles right now. There's no breaking news in terms of a deal being reached or agreed. But there are some very interesting revelations here. I mean, Fabrizio came out early this morning and tweeted and said, yes, but be ready for updates in regards to Telles because negotiations are on right now. So somebody asked Fabrizio Romano, is it the same situation for Sancho and Telles? And Fabrizio Romano replied, yes, but be ready for updates. And then he actually went on to say, Telles negotiations are on right now. So we knew this. We obviously knew that United were deep in negotiation with Porto for Telles. We understood yesterday it was being reported that we lowballed them with a £12 million offer, and they wanted somewhere closer to where they wanted his release clause, which is 36 million, which is not going to happen. But that's just their flex. They're trying to get a little bit more money from him, from Woodward. and judgy. They're trying to get a little bit more money. And of course, what Manchester United want to do is save as much money as possible. So we are prepared to wait it out. We're prepared to keep going back and forth. We're prepared to put out links in the media to Tagliafico and other players to try and convince Porto to sell him to us. So just to give you an update on Alex Telles, everybody who's tuning in right now, Telles negotiations are underway. They have been for the last couple of days. We've lowballed them, they've highballed us, we lowballed them again, and hopefully we'll meet them somewhere in the middle. But like we said, if you're expecting Tellers in before the Brighton game, you're off your freaking tree, my friends. It's not going to happen. It's going to be maybe Sunday, maybe after that, we'll see if Manchester United can get it done. I would love to think that we could announce it soon. The facts are the facts. I mean, they could still do that. You could still do that. Because if they agreed to personal terms with him, which it sounds like they already have, and they've agreed to terms with the football club Porto for the amount of money to be paid, then all that remains after that is, of course, medical, paperwork, transfer of funds. So that could all be done in a matter of days. You know, he can fly over to Manchester, he can get his medical done, you can even send a team out there to do it, he can get the paperwork done, you can get it all filed and registered pretty quickly. So 2 to 3 days is usually how long it takes from a player who's basically been agreed for between the two clubs, like whether it's a Donny van der Beek situation. There was an international break at that time though, so it was a little different, but it's usually a few days between the terms being agreed between the two football clubs and the player actually signing for the club. So we'll see if it happens. Hopefully it'll be in the next couple of days, but there's every chance that it'll be later in the window. And don't even think of it being 100%. No, it should be 100%. We definitely need him. He would add a lot to us. But this is Woody and co we're talking about. They're a bunch of melters. They're flounderers. They're pretenders. They're going to throw this down the shitter if they're not careful. Anyway, nice one. Strip Bear says, have you noticed Russian billionaire owners are slightly better than the American ones? Well, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, you have to say Liverpool's owners have done a good job over the last few years, even if they've not really spent and invested that much, but they've spent and invested it really well. And they've had faith and, you know. But other than that, yeah, I do think that maybe American owners don't generally have the best interests of heart of the football clubs. You see that with some of the other football clubs that are American-owned. But, you know, I don't know if that's anything to do with America. I think it's just probably down to the individuals involved. We've just happened to have the Glazers as our owners, who are just complete leechers. Some owners, you know, Roman, for instance, yeah, he's super rich, which definitely helps. He will just use that as an enjoyment tool. He's putting money into Chelsea because he loves watching football. He loves having a team that challenges for things, and he wants them to win. So that's the difference between those two guys. I don't think it's just to do with Russians or Americans or anything like that. I think it's just down to the fact that he's a fully committed, invested owner who's a football fan and actually wants to see his team achieve. And we've got owners which are nothing like that. They don't even go to games. You know, Roman's at all the games, really, isn't he? He loves it when he's not doing these crazy high-end Russian oil deals or whatever he does. He's always at the bloody games, you know. So he's loving it. He's absolutely loving it. So whereas our owners, they're just leechers. Balaji Johnson, what's going on? He says, this is just crazy. I'm tired of all these people from managing the club. Are they not tired of negativity around the club to prompt for more proactive thinking and planning? Very good shout. G Wolf United, thank you very much. He says, smash that like button, lads and lasses. Yeah, over 300 of you watching, and we've just smashed 150 likes. Booyah! If you're just tuning in, smash that thumbs up button. Get involved throughout the live chat as well. We'd love to hear from you on this channel. Tony Shields thinks Brighton 2-0, United 0. Crikey. That's mad. Ian Barron says, I've liked Mod. You legend, Ian Barron. Thank you very, very much. So, yeah, just to give you an update on Telles, it's not too much of an update. It's a similar situation. United are still in heated debate and heated negotiations with Porto for the potential signing of Alex Telles. We lowballed them up until this point. We've gone as low as 12 million. That's an insult to me. That's like Eddie Woodward and Matty Judge going there and, like, blowing a raspberry in these faces of these people there. That's an insult. Come on. I mean, I know he's only got a year left, but 12 million for Alex Telles, that is a joke. They're not going to get him for 12 million, but they've gone in at that low to start with. That is a joke. We understood that Porto don't even necessarily even want that much money. 23 to 25 million euros could potentially get him, around about 20 million pounds. So what's the hold up here, folks? What's the hold up? It's just our board doing the typical thing that they do, dragging it out to save money. It's a disgrace. It's just typical of what they do. We should have had this player ages ago to actually help out the squad. You know, anything that we save on money, we could potentially lose on points at at this stage. Imagine if we'd have had Sancho, imagine if we'd have had Tellez, imagine if we'd have had a couple of other players in for that Crystal Palace game and Solskjaer actually had a pre-season and actually had a couple of weeks to work with them. Who knows, maybe we'd have still lost, but who knows, we could have done a lot better. And those 3 points that we lost there could be the difference between winning or losing, could be the difference between Champions League qualification or not, could be the difference between league titles or not, could be the difference between Solskjaer keeping his job or not. So this is what pisses me so much off about our board, is that they just think about the bottom line of the finances and they don't think about the long term. They're such a short-minded bunch. They don't think about, what we gain now in savings, we could actually lose later in Champions League qualification money or something like that. Because if Ollie had had a boost with great players coming in who are hungry and fit and raring to go at United this season, which everybody should have been, but let's face it, he had to play Fosu Mensah and Daniel James on the right side of United's pitch. That is shocking. So if you'd have actually had Sancho and somebody else, like we said, we were talking about getting Tellez, so maybe Tellez at left back, switch Brandon Williams over to right, suddenly that's better than what we had. So there's no excuses for not getting these players in early other than the fact that they just want to save money. And they'll probably even wait it out till January if they have to, like they did with Bruno. Palmerius, thank you so much for getting in with your super chat, boss. He comments, I think Woodward made a typo searching for Adama. I know. That's it. They're trying to sign Adama Traore and they've accidentally got to Ahmad Traore's representatives. I don't know, but this kid does look good for 18. But that's exactly what I thought when I first read it. Thank you very much for that, Palmerius. You really appreciate it. Matt Rush says there's a transfer update, Pig. Let's have a look. Thank you so much, Matty Rushmeister, for keeping me up to date here. Oh, no. Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted Manchester City are now in talks with Benfica to sign Ruben Dias, including Otamendi offered as part of the deal. Total value around €55 million. Same bid made to Sevilla for Koundé and refused 5 days ago. Who's the other main target as centre-back after Koulibaly deal stalling? So Ruben Dias might be going to Manchester City now. They added Nathan Ake. They're going to sign Ruben Dias by the looks of it now after the Koulibaly deal stalled and get rid of Otamendi at the same time, potentially. Look, this is what Romano's just reported, 3:41 p.m. He's tweeted Man City are in talks with Benfica to sign Ruben Dias. Ruben Dias is a great player. I would have liked to have had Ruben Dias at our club. Unfortunately, our club's not linked with these big-name players anymore because we're not prepared to spend the money. Doesn't that piss you off, though? I mean, smash a 1 in the live chat if you would have really liked to have seen Ruben Dias come to United. Thank you, Matt Rushmeister. He comments, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, thank you for the update there, Matt Rush. Oh, there's another one as well. Thank you so much for all your information. By the way, follow Matt Rush on Twitter, MattUnited20. He is the transfer guru of the channel with great sources and great info. Keeps me up to date with everything that's going on. Here's an update on Tellez as well, lads and lasses. Massive shout out to you, Matt Rush. Here's an update on Tellez. Porto, this understood right now, currently, as in negotiations are obviously very advanced, but Porto want 20 million euros. Porto want 20 million euros. Well, what's the bloody hold up then? Porto want 20 million euros, but would also like United to pay percentages to Galatasaray. Information coming out, 2 million euros, which is 10%, but we'll have to get this confirmed first. Close in valuation, but both clubs sticking to their prices at the moment. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Tellez, not other options. What? That's preposterous. So they want us to pay Galatasaray. Well, just pay the extra bloody 10% then. Give them the bloody money. It's preposterous. If it's 20 million euros and Porto want us to pay 10% to Galatasaray, what's the big bloody deal? It's 22 million then. 22 million euros and we can get Tellez. What's the bloody hold up then? So I think it's disgusting. So sources come out to say today that it's 20 million is what's believed to be wanted by Porto now. And United are unwilling to pay that amount of money at this moment in time and are trying to squeeze it down. Jonathan Gallagher comments, how hard is it to pay 20 million? Jesus, mate, F the board, 100%. Dragged Kavlar says, think this is the last generation of United fans. I don't know about that. I mean, look, it's obviously a fantastic club. We're still up there. It's still got a ridiculously good history. I know what you're saying, like in terms of like all the new fans that are being created because of great football and things like that. Like if you're a youngster who doesn't have any affiliation around the world to Manchester in any way, and you're watching the Premier League weekly and you like football, then I don't know if this United side is the team that you really go with. So you might be right in terms of just overall new fans. Yeah, I mean, you might be right, as sad as it is, because you generally people like the teams that play the best football. I mean, I've got a mate who's from Manchester, and he's a Liverpool fan because he grew up watching Liverpool in the bloody 70s and all this shit. And he just loves Liverpool. You know, he loved how they played back then. Now he's still a Liverpool fan to this day, and he's like 60 or something. So, you know, that definitely does happen, rightly or wrongly, whether you have allegiances to a team local to you or you just like a team because of how they play at a time. There's loads of United fans I know that are United fans because they just grew up in the 90s and that was the most successful period for United and they played the nicest football and people just loved watching United. Simple as that. So there's still United fans because of that. So there's sort of nothing wrong with it, but there's sort of also something gash about that, isn't there? Yeah, the United way. Good point. He says, no, we are not paying others' debts to other clubs when we don't pay our own debts. So true, yeah. Galatasaray, when they want us to pay 2 million, screw that. You know, just whatever. Thank you, Colin Grieg. He says, great channel, Flying Pig. Thank you so much, Colin Grieg. TV Ray comments, Tellez deal is likely, but Sancho not so much. Maybe a loan deal for a winger. Absolutely, that's very well summed up, really, because the Tellez deal is very likely still. Like, let's have a look at Tellez's odds. And also let's have a look at Sancho's odds, because I saw earlier on that Sancho's odds were very in favour of staying at Borussia Dortmund. So here we go. Here's a little odds update for you. For what's the chances of him joining Manchester United? They're 3-2 now. So the best odds you can get on them are 3-2. So if you put 3 on, you get 2, you win 2. No, that's not right. If you put 2 on, you win 3, sorry. And to stay at Dortmund is 1-2. So if you put 2 on, you win 1. So that is that's obviously in favour of staying at Dortmund. It's 1-2 to stay at Dortmund, 3-2 to join Manchester United, and then you have to go down, and there's just not even any odds for anybody else like Chelsea or City or anybody like that. So United have the clear path to go and get him. We just have to go and do it. But you're absolutely right. Sancho's more than likely not going to happen. I still think we're going to go and try, but whether they accept our low ball offer, which it probably will be no in our board, is another thing. So that's why it's more favourable that he's going to stay at Dortmund right now. And in terms of Tellez and the odds on Tellez, he's got to be very, very close to joining Manchester United. Tellez does. In fact, I don't even think there's any odds. I don't even think you could bloody bet on that right now because it's just like blatant that really it's going to happen. So I can't even find any odds about Tellez. But yeah, you're spot on. Much more likely that we get Tellez. Not so likely that we get Sancho. Just get in the comments who would be your right wing signing if we don't get Sancho. Because remember, there's every chance that United bottle it at the end of the window, and that we have to scratch around and get a panic buy signing. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a panic buy, but certainly somebody like Perisic, Douglas Costa, those guys are panic buys. You know, so we need somebody a little bit more. With a bit more forethinking, somebody as a backup. I'd prefer, you know, a Wilfried Zaha type signing, or a David Neres type signing, or an Adama Traore type signing. But get yours in. Who do you think should sign for Manchester United if we don't get Sancho? Because there's every chance we won't. Joydeep Saklabadia comments Ismail Assar. Yeah, that's another link that's heavily linked to us, and he's easily attainable from Watford. 30 odd million you could get him for, and he's 22, getting better. Great young player. I think that's a good chance, definitely. Jonathan Gallagher would like to see Adama Traore. Andy Luck, how's it going? He says, I started supporting United in 66 because Bobby Charlton was an awesome player. Exactly, there you go. People have lots of different reasons for supporting football teams, and Bobby Charlton, what a player. Let's just appreciate Bobby Charlton, by the way, because I don't know if he is given the respect that he deserves in the world game. Because that man, I mean, the amount of goals that he scored, left foot, right foot, oh my days, the amount of bangers that guy scored. He was unbelievable. Obviously before my time, but you can see the footage, it's out there. He was incredible. Casper Romine says, use our common sense. The virus will be here for another 4 months, so no good income for Man United equals no Sancho. Interesting, Casper. Yes, I mean, we took a big loan out, though, hopefully to try and cover us in this period to be able to still strengthen. So I hear you. We'll find out the real fibre of their fabric, whether we did take that loan out to strengthen or not. But yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's the thing. It's not a good time for anybody around the world to spend money. David Taylor says, we need transfers. Are we willing to struggle to get top, or we will struggle to get top 6? Absolutely, mate. We're struggling to get top 6 already, and we've only just got going. We lost the first game of the season. So we need to get players in, otherwise we are going to really struggle. Matt Rush says, Dortmund monitoring Ryan Sessegnon. Oh my days. Dortmund monitoring Ryan Sessegnon now, Matt Rush. So that's quite interesting. If that's the case, you know, very interesting. They are looking for these young up-and-coming players, of course. G-Will says, I like the other winger, Elanga. Put him in. Yeah, it's a good shout, you know. Good young option, but not maybe ready right now. Not maybe ready right now. Canton R7 says, I think we get Sancho and Tellez over the line and then grab a 30 mil centre-back in January. Yeah, that could happen, actually. That could actually happen. Something like that. That does make a lot of sense for United right now. We're not linked with a centre-back in this window, truly. There are links, of course, but we're not negotiating with anybody for a centre-back. So I said something like similar to actually Canton R7 at the start of the video. And I agree. I think if we are going to get a centre-back, it will be in January. It won't be anytime soon. Right, let's get on to the rest of the news, lads and lasses. How long have we been waffling for? Almost an hour. Shocking, lads and lasses. By the way, I'm going to be doing a preview for the Brighton game a bit later on this channel. Probably around about 6:30, 7 p.m. I'll just do a standard, a sandwich it in between the two transfer vids. So I'll do a preview for the Brighton game, get into all the statistics, get into all the predictions and team predictions and selection and all that stuff. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. If you're new to this channel, by the way, smash that subscribe button, click the sub and click the bell icon and set it to all, and that way you'll be notified when we post on this channel. Get involved with the channel, get involved with the community. They're on our way to 30k. Get in there, my son. So get involved while it's still under 30k or something, I don't know. But thank you for watching. Smash the thumbs up on it as well. That'll help us out loads. Appreciate all of you that do. Hit that thumbs up button. JP in the gaff comments, why are Manchester United choking all the rumours signings? What's going on? We're just mental. We're just awful, mate. We're awful. We're bottling it. And we are being linked to a lot of players because of this whole PR machine at United trying to get pressure on other football clubs. That's why we're being linked to everybody and not getting anyone. Liam Hardy says, Pig, do you think Upamecano is possible in January? Yes, I do. Because if we understand what, if we believe the reports, it's understood that he has a release clause that comes into effect. Some reports say in January. Some other reports say next summer. I imagine it'd be next summer because he only signed a new deal in July or June, I think it was. So they won't really... The way these clauses work, if you do have a minimum fee release clause in a contract, obviously you're not going to give somebody a signing-on fee and pay them more wages just for another football club to come in 2 weeks later and sign him. So there will be an expiry period on, and basically a cooling-off period on how long that he has to be staying at the club, and that release clause can't be active. But that release clause is understood to become active next summer at the latest. So you will probably see Leipzig looking at maybe cashing in on him, or maybe looking at extending his contract and getting rid of that release clause. That's also another possibility if they're in the position to do so and he wants to stay. It's up to him, really. He came out the other day and did mention that there's clubs that he's been talking to. He didn't mention who, and he said that Leipzig have let him talk to a couple of clubs, but for now, he's a Leipzig player. Pretty interesting. Yeah, what's going on, Jonathan Lemon Wrestling Show? How you doing? Cindy Collector in the gaff. I hope you're doing good. Muiz Abdulaziz says Sancho, or we are mad. Absolutely. Cindy Collector says, hopefully we get a win against Brighton. Van der Beek does look a good signing. Take care, all. Thanks for the update, Pig. No worries at all, Cindy Collector. Much appreciate it. Thank you so much for getting in here. Glad to give you the updates. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, I do these daily, once every afternoon around about 2:30, 3 p.m. and once every evening around about 9:30. So subscribe to the channel, get involved at those times, and tonight we'll be doing a preview around about 6:30 as well for the Brighton game. So get involved for that as well. But yeah, very interesting news. Let's get on to the rest of it then. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was pretty brutal on keeping Sergio Romero and Rojo happy, etc. When somebody asked him, what are you doing to keep these guys happy? The guys who are maybe linked to moves away or who don't know if they're going to move and are not really involved too much in the first team and that kind of thing. And he simply just said this. He replied and said, it's not my job to keep them happy. My job's to pick teams to get results. Up to them to be fit and perform when called upon. So it's pretty damning, I would say, that Solskjaer's basically there saying, yeah, he's saying all the right things, but he's also basically saying, yeah, they're surplus to requirements, really, I think. I think he's just like, I don't think he's okay for morale and stuff like that. It might not be the best, but these players are not really going to play anyway. So why would he be bothered about Romero and Rojo and how they're feeling about staying here? He's hoping that somebody comes in and buys them. He's hoping that somebody come in and buys them. So yeah, that's pretty damning from Solskjaer. What do you reckon about that one, lads and lasses? Welsh Red says United in talks with Dennis Law. We could probably do a lot worse, couldn't we? Colin Grieg says a lot of neglecting Van der Beek. He's looking one of the sharpest on the park. Yeah, no, we were all happy about the Van der Beek signing. It's a good signing. It's good money that we paid for him at bargain. It's great for the next 10 years. I love that signing. It's a great asset as well. Like, there's no gamble in that deal. That's why they've bought him, because if they sell him in 3 years and he doesn't work out, they're going to get all their money back anyway. So it's not really a gamble. That's why they've got him. But also, he is a good player. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does. And in the Brighton preview later on the channel, I would get deep into all the ins and outs of what positions and who's going to be playing in that midfield, in my opinion, etc. And what I think Solskjaer's going to do. So come back for that later. But yeah, in regards to Romero and Rojo and these guys, Ollie just seems, like he's kind of just like, whatever. They're here. I can't really do much about them. If I need them, they better be professional and play. Good comment here from Colin Grieg. He says, different style to Bruno, but it's a case of the other players understanding that. Odran Davis says, Ollie clearly annoyed that Woodward can't get rid of these players on too much money and contract that we have given out willy-nilly. So right, Odran. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what he's saying, basically. It's just like, it's not my job to keep them happy. It's not my job to move them on. I can't do that. I can't convince somebody to come and pay 100 grand a week for Phil Jones or whoever to come and get him off of us. I can't do that. So these players, they're here. They're deadwood. They're here hanging on like some sort of bloody Klingon. And you've just got to put up with them, really. Kayam says, Wolf, it could just be someone with the same initials. Yeah, it's just so that's a genuine account. It's not actually a legit JP. That's a different JP. Stuart Kehoe says, United in talks with Bobby Charlton. We could also do a lot worse. Ethan McGrath says, do you think Sam High will sign? Sam High? Who's that? Primot, Mr. Chinik, go follow that melt then. No bacon for you. Ashley Jenkins says, sell Pogba, he's gash. Where's the fan base on Paul Pogba? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you would like to sell Paul Pogba. Me personally, I think if you could sell him and get an Upamecano and Tellez for the amount of money you could generate for Paul Pogba, then do it. Honestly, because he's not even ever really lived up to it for me personally, that consistently. Great player on his day. I'm happy for him to stay, really, as long as he's committed. He's a great option to have. But is he first name on the team sheet for me like he should be? No, he's not. He's too inconsistent. So I personally would accept a big offer for him and sell him if that meant that we could go and strengthen the team and actually get the centre-back that we need and all that good stuff. Liam Hardy says 222. The Red Devil TV says no, Pogba stay. Remy says 1. Mostly 2s in here, so most people want Paul Pogba to stay. Lee Matthews says 1, RP0D says 1, so a bunch of us think that maybe it would be better to cash in and spend that money elsewhere. I certainly think that is the case. Mohammed Ramadan, yes, yeah, I do know who that melt is, Mohammed, who doesn't? He's a melt. Alan T says, hi Pig, I hope you're well, matey. I am matey, Alan T, thank you very much. Gungshi says, Pogba should stay. Yes, I know you would say that, Gungshi, because you love Paul Pogba. You go tonight, you go to bed at night, and you light a candle under an effigy of Paul Pogba. You have a strand of hair from Paul Pogba that you bought on eBay. I know these things, Gungshi. You love Paul Pogba. Okay? But me personally, I don't. I think he's overrated. Overrated, my friend. Now, that's the thing. Each to their own. Look, Paul Pogba's obviously a great player, but he's just never really lived up to it for me. RP0D says Pogba sacked off the entire season. He definitely didn't turn up in the game the other day, but he was coming back from coronavirus. Mohammed says, should Marcus Rojo stay? No, he shouldn't. I don't think he's good enough. I think we should be moving the deadwood on. There's too many players who are not good enough, who are on too much money at United, and we have to move them on. Welsh Red, how's it going? He says, all this transfer talk, just a way to give the bookies more money. Yeah, that is probably true. You're right. Some people are making money out of this. Well, hopefully they lose money on this. Liam Hardy says he's quality, just needs a run of games to get back to fitness. Fair point. In terms of Pogba, yeah, I mean, he is quality on his day. Like, we saw a great spell from him last season. We've seen spells from him in the past. We've seen games from him which are unbelievable where he's running the show. But it's not often enough for me, I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Gunshi says Pig will never agree about Pogba. No, that's true, we won't. Cantonar7 says Pogba has to stay. He bring the Glazers bags in merch and PR. That's a very good point, yeah. So a very good point. But I actually think because of that, because he's so marketable and brings a lot of money in his commercial, I actually think that we could get more money for him than he's actually worth. Like, how much is he actually worth as a footballer? We paid 89 million or whatever it was. But is he actually worth that in this current market? I think he's probably worth like 70 million. I would have said like 100 million last year before all this pandemic shit happened. But certainly think, I don't know. Is he worth more than that? Get your valuations in, lads and lasses. How much do you think we should ask for Paul Pogba? I think 70 million. Because you could go and get Tellez and Upamecano for that. And it's a tough situation. And he's never really, he's probably worth more because of his commercialism and the fact he's got a bajillion followers, 40 million, says Tony Shields. I think that's a little bit low. Matt Rush says 198 likes. Get in there, my sons and daughters. Have some of that. Smash a thumbs up on the vid if you haven't. Let's get to 200, guys. And thank you to every single one of you that's hit the like button today. Appreciate it. Dylan Hart comments, recently Pogba looks timid. He looks like he's scared to shoot. If you watch what he's playing a CDM role, it's not where he should be. So true. Like, this is the frustrating thing, actually, about how Paul Pogba's been used at United over the years, because he's not a defensive player. He hates that. You can see he's not into that. He likes to be further advanced up the pitch, having more of a play in the creation and shooting and setting players up and stuff. And when he's up there, I think that's his best time. He always looks ropey when he's in deep positions, whereas when he's up there, when we're attacking, he's in the mix of things. That's where he looks best, with his link-up play with Bruno and all that stuff that we saw this season as well. So I agree. I think he's just never been used properly. But the problem is now we've got Bruno Fernandes in that position who's better. So why wouldn't we have Bruno Fernandes at CAM? Pogba's not going to play there. Also, we've got Donny van der Beek who can play there. Solskjaer played him there the other day. It's like, he might feature at CAM sometimes as well. We've got Juan Mata this season still, who really should only be playing there. I know Solskjaer plays him on the right, but he really should be playing in the middle. So really, is Paul Pogba going to get many games at CAM? The answer to that is no, not really. He could. I mean, Solskjaer's got so many different options in the midfield. He can play Donny and Bruno as the two holding players if he wants, and play Pogba in front. He actually could. They could both do it. They're both good enough defensively and pass masters, but really, it's not a good balance. You need like Matic, you need somebody who's properly defensively minded, physical, reads the game better defensively, because his role is that of a defender, not that of a creator, which is like Paul Pogba. It's like saying, let's have Bruno Fernandes play CDM. Yes, he can do a good job there. Yes, he does get back and defend and is committed, but he's not best used there. It's not his natural position. He wants to be creating. He needs to be in a creative role. So I feel the same about Pogba and Bruno, that they'd both be better off in a CAM role. Raymond Moore comments, Pogba never was and never is a good defensive midfielder. He's all about attack. So true. If we used him right, maybe you'd see a different player. Same with Juan Mata. If you use Juan Mata right in CAM, you might see a different player. Gunshi says Bruno and Pogba linking up will be magic. Give it time, big. Yeah, we already saw some of that magic actually, Gunshi. I did like it. Let's give him. I'm not saying sell him now. I wouldn't be. He's not on the list for me of people to sell right now. If the right offer came in for him, I would sell him though. But he's not on the list of players to sell for me right now. The players to sell are obviously Rojo and Jones and Smalling and Lingard and Pereira and all these absolute gas-tastic players. At least Pogba is world-class sometimes, whereas Jesse Lingard's not. Jesse Lingard's gas class all the time. He's never world-class. So that is why I definitely would stick with Paul Pogba around the club. He's not somebody that I want to see go immediately. But if the right offer came in, I would sell him, just because you could probably better spend that money getting a centre-back and some of the top players in. Alan T comments, Ollie needs to get the hairdryer out. He is a little bit nice. I hope that he does give him a right bollocking sometimes, though. Leonardo Di Stefano comments, that Ahmed kid looks good. Yeah, Ahmed Traore does look pretty sick, doesn't he? I mean, look, I've only seen clips of him. He's only 18. He's only played a handful of times for the senior side, but he does look good. So hopefully we do sign him. It's another good young talent to add to the ranks. United have signed a bunch this season. Right then, this window. Right, let's have a look at a couple more bits of information before we get into your comment section. This is a bit of a long vid. I'm going to try and definitely keep it to below 90 minutes today. But thank you everybody for getting in here, and I will jump into your comment section, have a proper Q&A in a bit. So wait for that, but also smash a thumbs up on it and get involved with the community. So Solskjaer on Eric Bailly, when asked about Eric Bailly, he said, Eric Bailly is fit. This is today for the press conference, of course. He said, Eric Bailly is fit again, a big, big plus, and looking forward to seeing him develop and play more games. We've been waiting for him to be fit and play more regularly. So there you go. Exactly. That's it. Solskjaer obviously is pretty aware that we're not going to be getting a centre-back in this window. So he's saying now Bailly's going to be the man. He's also basically thrown Victor under the bus by saying that. Hopefully, and rightfully so, because Victor deserves to be a bus. He should be a bus conductor in Sweden or something. He shouldn't be conducting United's defence. He's gash. So yes, that's good that Solskjaer's come out and said this about Bailly, that he's fit again and he's going to be big for us this season. And I think that is the best combination. Bailly and Maguire. Get your favourite centre-back pairing in out of the players that we got. Don't say Phil Jones and Lindelof, though. But get your favourite... thank you for that, Mr. Cialak. Appreciate that. It says, let's get the pig to 30k. Appreciate it. Yeah, get your favourite centre-back pairing in. But for me, at the moment, and I could reassess this over time, but for me, it will be Bailly and Maguire. Bailly and Maguire makes the most sense. They're both good in the air. They're both strong as Fook. They're both physical. Bailly's pretty quick and athletic as well. Maguire not so much. But they definitely would have a better tandem partner in terms of balance than Lindelof and Maguire, because Lindelof's too slow. He's not as athletic. He's not as fit. He's not as strong. He's not as good as in the air. He's not as good as in the air as Bailly. So yeah, that's why it makes a lot more sense for United to go with Bailly and Maguire. Jonathan says Bailly and Maguire. Yeah. Nitesh Sugrim says Maguire is also suspect. That's very true. Some people are actually saying that maybe the best partnership you could put out right now, bearing in mind that you are coming up against a lot of really quick, physical, speedy teams at the moment in the Premier League, would actually be Smalling and Bailly, because they're both quick, they're both decent. Smalling and Bailly would have the legs to deal with most defences. That's what people are saying anyway. I've heard a bit of buzz about this around social media. Gunshi with a good shout says Bailly Maguire or even Bailly and Twanzebe. Great shout as well, yes. Twanzebe, we keep forgetting about him because he is injured, but he could have a big role to play this season. I personally think he should be the one that we put the faith in. Or even Mengi, but he's still really young, so Twanzebe because he's 22. Because Twanzebe is still young, he can still develop. If he gets the game time, he could just settle in and develop. Whenever we've seen him slotted in there in the first team, which is only a handful of times, he has bossed it, guys. He's looked solid as a rock. So I'd definitely like to see that. Liam Hardy says, Pig, you seem to have very high blood pressure. I feel like I'm in witness the first ever live heart attack on YouTube. What do you mean, Liam Hardy? How do you think I have high blood pressure? What do you mean? Am I going red and stuff? You're freaking me out now, Liam Hardy, mate. Don't do that to me, pal. I'm going to have to get myself checked out now. I do think I've got high blood pressure. Sometimes I get a bit lightheaded when I'm talking on here. You know? So don't freak me out, bud. Gabriel Lopez says, you heard it. Come on, Pig. Come clean. It was your idea from the start. This morning by incident. Yeah, no. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember now. Sometimes I think of stuff and say stuff and I forget, which is all the time. But anyway, Bailly and Maguire is going to be the likely centre-back pairing for the game tomorrow, or the game against Brighton. We will go through this in the Brighton preview later at 6:30. Liam Hardy, yeah, not good. Welsh Red says, Pig has a heart attack every day. Man, to be honest, this is very stressful doing these videos sometimes when United are losing and stuff. I do definitely get wound up. It's one of those things. I love talking about United, but we're all passionate about United, and obviously I'm very passionate about United. And when bad stuff happens to United, I take it pretty badly. And it feels like the fact this transfer window is so disgusting just makes me feel stressed and annoyed and sad. And when we lose games against shitting Crystal Palace and stuff like that, it's a right wind-up. So, hopefully I don't die live on air. But if I do, maybe it'll be appropriate. I always thought, certain football managers, it's kind of poetic if they, pass away in the dugout or something like that. Well, maybe that's like me. I don't know. Anyway, Gunshi says, I've got hypertension. Thank goodness I'm on medicine for it, or Pig's runs would have killed me long ago. Oh, crikey. I'm not even too sure that is Gunchi, but I'll have a look into it, buddy. It does not sound good. Everybody stick that love heart emoji in the live chat for Gunchi, one of the legends of the channel, by the way. Real legends of the channel. Such as Matty the Rushmeister as well. All the mods as well. Stick a love heart in there for the mods. Because the mods are gods. They really are. R King says, Pig and us need more mangasms. So true. We don't have enough mangasms, mate. It's not good, is it? Right then. So Eric Bailly back in contention. That's good news. Over 350 of you watching. Smash that thumbs up button, lads and lasses. Let's see if we can get to 250 likes. There's almost that on it. So if you haven't smashed the like on it yet, please do. Yeah, so also Solskjaer in regards to this morning, he said, look, different things need to happen. He seems pretty content either way, whether or not Smalling stays or goes this window. We understand Inter and Roma are interested in him at the moment. Simon Stone come out and said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer also said he had lots of options in midfield, including Matic, McTominay and Fred, but accepted that, yes, it was possible for Bruno, Pogba and Van der Beek to play in the same team. I don't think that's true. Like we said, we could get Bruno and Pogba and Van der Beek in the same midfield, and it would be very creative and it could really work. But also, it just doesn't sound as defensively stable as like having Matic in there, or even having Van der Beek and, say, McTominay or something like that. I personally just think Bruno, Pogba and Van der Beek probably won't play all that often together as a midfield trio, because they're all not 100% defensively suitable for that position. But, you know, if you look at like some Barcelona teams and stuff like that over the years, they've gotten away with having some players like that, but then they also had like Sergio Busquets. So, you know, and Vidal and people like this. So you always have to have great central defensive midfielders, in my opinion, to be able to build properly good attacks and to also help your back four and actually allow the creative players to create more. Because when you don't want your Pogbas and your Brunos and your Van der Beeks defending all the time, you want them creating, and you want somebody who's defending and bossing it and freeing them up, whether it's, you know, your Traore type bloody player or whatnot, you know, whoever. Claude Makalani, that sort of guy. Kante. That's who you need. We don't have a suitable replacement for Matic at the moment. That's a position we should have strengthened this summer as well, but we haven't done so. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on if Man United fans could expect movement before the transfer window closes. This is what he had to say. He said, I am very confident in my players. In football, we can't predict too much. My focus is solely on the game. We need 3 points on Saturday, then we can talk again. So he's not really being drawn on transfer window stuff right now. He will be frustrated. He will be wanting the players. But people are criticising him for saying that. For saying, I'm very confident in my players. Basically not answering a question. Basically saying, we will work with what we've got now until we maybe get somebody else in. People are criticising him for that. But you can't really criticise him, because what else is he going to say? He can't say what I've been saying and what you've been saying. He can't say the Glazers are shitbags and look, get them out. He can't say that. Hey, thank you so much, Tonk Nash 87. He says, best fan channel out there. Much love, Mr. Pig. Boom, and gives me one of those. Thank you, Tonk Nash. Appreciate it, my friend. Very, very nice of you super chatting in. Thank you very, very much. Legend. Shout out to you, my friend. So, yeah, look at that. So, Solskjaer, you know, in regards to the transfer window, I'm confident with my players. In football, we can't predict too much. My focus is solely on the game. We need 3 points on Saturday. So, he's obviously not saying, yeah, we need to get players in. Last time out in the previous press conference, he did basically say that it's obvious that we need players and everybody knows that we need players. So Solskjaer a little bit more reserved this time, you could argue. Maybe you could say it's a bit of a pussy move. But actually, I think he's just being professional. He knows that he can't really rock the boat too much. That's not going to help anything at this stage, I don't think, for him in his role at United. He's already going to have the pressure on because the Glazers haven't backed him at this moment in time. He's had emergency meetings with the board and Woodward over the last couple of weeks. So he can't really do any more than that. So that's why I don't think anybody should be blaming Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for coming out and saying that he wants his current players to perform and do the job and get the team performing with the current players that he has. We do need the 3 points on Saturday. Also, it's a disgrace we didn't get a few players in to help this squad out before we got these games. But again, that's not down to Solskjaer. That's down to our board and then lack of movement and progress in negotiations. Like this Telles deal should have been wrapped up ages ago. Sancho could have been done at the start of the window. They wouldn't have even entertained negotiations if they weren't there to play ball to a degree. But what it is United trying to lowball everybody again. Okay then, guys. So that's basically all the news stories then for today, I'll give you a very brief rundown quickly, and then for anybody who's just gotten in here, and then I will do a quick Q&A with you lads and lasses, and then we'll call it a day. But again, thank you so much for watching again. Tune in for the preview later at about 6:30 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when we go live. And there will be a transfer show tonight as well, around about 9:30 p.m. So then, guys, let's get into it then. As an update, Jadon Sancho, it's believed that there's still going to be a final offer from Manchester United before the window closes. We shall see. It's widely reported that will be the case. There were some reports yesterday of a fee of 90 million, but don't just take that with a pinch of salt. Dortmund won't sell him to us for that, I don't think. I think what we have to do is go back and have another stab at it, another negotiation, try and work it out. Probably somewhere around 100 million will get the business done. It's a big if whether we sign Jadon Sancho. It's a big if whether or not United will be prepared to spend that money. It's also a big if whether Dortmund would accept any offer at this stage because they may want to keep him for the season. That's also true. So it's a big if with Jadon Sancho. In regards to Telles, look, it's looking very likely we should absolutely be signing Telles. There's not competition from anyone else from what we understand. There were links to PSG, but nothing that we've materialised from that. So in terms of Telles, he should be our player soon. But again, this board could have got it done ages ago. It's understood that Porto want about 20 million euros plus a couple of million to pay any excess percentage that was paid, that was owed to Galatasaray from the deal that they bought him, where they bought him from. And it's also, you know, just one of those. We're trying to negotiate. We're trying to get the deal done. Fabrizio's reporting that we're still in negotiations with them and we're trying to work it out. But United lowballing them, £12 million offer, £15 million offer. Just get the deal done. Just get him done. Just get it wrapped up. So we need to get that done. Hopefully we'll have some news later for you on the Tonight Show. Because I do think that United could announce it anytime soon that the terms have been agreed between the two clubs. And then it will take a good few days to get the medical done, paperwork, get it all done and dusted. But I certainly think that United could announce the fact that we've agreed terms with the club soon. But again, only if we're prepared to budge a little bit on our valuation. We're fully aware that he's running out his contract. He's got a year left. Porto will accept lesser amount than his valuation or his minimum fee release clause. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Because obviously his contract runs out next summer and he can actually agree terms with football clubs in January and then leave them for nothing at the end of the summer. So that's not going to happen. They're going to cash in on him this summer, but they're just holding out for a little bit more. They want a little bit more and we want to pay a little bit less. And it's very sad, but it's about peanuts, really. It's about a few million. And for United right now to be the difference of potentially getting a player in before the Brighton game, before the Newcastle game, to give us a boost, give us a lift, give us more options, maybe give us the 3 points. It's not a lot of money. So it's pitiful, more of the same shite behaviour from our board and our negotiators. Piss poor. There you go. Alex Telles. Also, we are linked to Armand Traore, a young 18-year-old Atalanta winger. Good young prospect. Hopefully that's true. Hopefully we get him. We're understood to have made contact with Atalanta for the lad. He looks good, 18 years of age, inside forward type winger. Brilliant. But he's only 18. His stats look great for having played in the youth setup and a few times for Atalanta. But that's all they are. At this moment in time, I've just seen YouTube clips of the lad. Let's see if it's true. Hopefully we sign him, but he's not really a Sancho alternative. He's one for the future, this lad. Right then, lads and lasses, thank you everybody for joining in. Smash the thumbs up button. Get involved in the comments section. Q&A time. Get anything you want to discuss in here. Bloody hell, Matty Rush, mate. What a legend. Oh my days, Matt Rush has just sent a 30 quid super chat over, you loon bar. Matt Rush, thank you so much. Everybody, would you stick a beer emoji in the live chat to say cheers to Matt Rush for that one? Bloody hell. He comments, great show, Pig. What a community you have created. Like and subscribe, guys. Legends. Matt Rush, man. What an absolute legend. Thank you so much for that, dude. Can't even begin to tell you how much that is awesome. Thank you, Matt Rush. Cheers, dude. Honestly, what a legend you are too. Man, you're right. It's a great community of people. And, I have to say, you're a big part of it, man. There's so many usual legends that get in here and all the new people that are tuned in recently. We've gone up nearly 5,000 subscribers in the last month, which is mad. So there's a lot of new subscribers in here that have just been getting involved. Loving everybody's interaction, loving everybody's comments. So keep it coming, guys. What a community. What a freaking absolute bunch of bloody Bacon Brigade legends. All aboard the Bakerman train. Woo, woo! Next stop, Porkville. But great, it is a great community, guys, and shout out to all the Bacon Brigade, every single one of you. That's what we call you. All the people that tune in to Flying Pig United YouTube channel who want to be kept up to date with no nonsense, no bullshit transfer news, and also general Manchester United news and previews and reactions and watch-alongs and all the other good stuff. We've been doing this for 7 years, Matty the Rushmeister, so appreciate it. Death Reaper, try not to spam there, my friend, otherwise you will be timed out, you see. Try not to do that. That's just filling up the live chat with spam there. Young Wizard, thank you, Young Wizard, for getting in here. Jason Rike, he says, is Adama Traore a good replacement for Jadon Sancho? Well, if you mean Adama Traore, the Wolves player, then yes, I think he would be a good option. He's 23, more of an impact sub, but it would mean that you got sort of Greenwood taking more of a mantle at right wing, and Adama, of course, backing him up. But if you mean Armand Traore, the young lad from Atalanta, then no, not really, not now. Nicole Chung, thank you, Nicole, for getting in here with the cheers emojis for Matty Rushmeister. Primos says, extra balls on the meatball sub tonight, pig. Yeah, double meat. Oh, get in there. Elysium NZ says, Edwards, I'll give you £12 over 4 years. Dortmund, sold. How you doing, Elysium NZ? It's great to see you. Fingers 998 as well, getting in. A bunch of the Legiondes coming out of the woodwork. I am Neil, thank you. Nico Napa, cheers. ELB says, bye. Nice one, ELB. Young Wizard. Right, okay, let's... Matthew Evans, appreciate it, everyone. R. Kings, Sam O'Connor, Mr. Cialek, Mr. Cialek. Thank you. Says, let's get the pig to 30k. Thank you, Mr. Cialek. He says, what do you think about Armand Traore? Like I said, he's a young kid. I think he's a good prospect. I think he's somebody United should be looking to sign. I think he in a few years' time, he'll be the tits, actually. He looks really tricky and really good. But he's still young. His stats are impressive for the youth setup as well at Atalanta, but that's what it is, the youth setup. So let's see how he progresses. But United should try and sign him if the price is right. If it's not a lot of money, then you see United signing young players for not a lot of money at the moment in time to try and improve our situation in the years to come. Like, we've got a bunch of young players in this team coming into our youth setup this summer that we signed that are going to go on to do great things. It's about United. It's on United to develop them and get the best out of them and obviously nurture them, because there's no point like getting all these players in if it's going to be another Angel Gomez situation where you get this player at the club and you nurture him for years and he improves, but ultimately at the age of 20 he does want to a different football club for nothing. That's what you don't want. So it doesn't mean that these players are going to be the next world beaters and we have to manage them right and nurture them, but it does show you the strides that United are making in forward planning for the future. We're finally doing the right things, planning for the future. We're signing these young seeds, these young gems that you can germinate and flower into great players, hopefully. I'm full on losing my voice right now. What the bloody hell? LA Cash comments, if you had to give a percentage on Sancho coming, what would it be? My personal percentage is now 50-50. 50%. That's what I'm going with. I think United need him. United haven't got and been linked properly with another right winger, another good right winger, only young right wingers who maybe would be an option at the club. But I do have to say that I think he's our number one priority still. Solskjaer definitely wants him. The board are it's understood we're going to go back have another try and get him before the end of the window. So we will see. But I think 50-50. Dortmund probably don't want to sell for any less than the valuation they gave us at the start of the window. If United pay the money, maybe we'll get him. But chances are we probably won't. G-Wolf United, thank you for the super chat. He comments, pig gung, she sent a PayPal. G-Wolf, you're a legend, man. Shout out to you, G-Wolf. Everybody put a wolf emoji in there for G-Wolf. He's one of the legendary mods. He's actually just sent me a super chat just to let me know that I haven't missed a PayPal from our good man over in Taiwan, Mr. Gungshi. So thank you so much for that, G-Wolf. You absolute legend, dude. And Gungshi, here it is. Gungshi, thank you so much, matey. What a top man. Mr. Hugh over in Taiwan, the Legion of Legiondes, comments, I'm sick of the way United handle these transfers, pig. It takes away all the excitement there used to be around getting new players. I just don't trust Woodward and Judge, not to mention the Glazers, to do anything in the club's football interests. They only care about lining their own pockets. Gungshi, you're spot on, aren't you, mate? You're spot on, aren't you? That's all they give a shit about, mate. You're right. That's the owners. That's why they bought this club. It's to milk us dry from our resources and money to line their own pockets. It's not to help this football club. So you're spot on, Gungshi. Woodward and Judge as well in particular are terrible at their jobs. How do they keep their jobs? The only way they keep their jobs is because they're yes men, little puppets for the Glazers. That's the only reason it's a puppet. That's the only reason they actually keep their bloody jobs. What I wouldn't do to have Brian Connolly giving those bloody puppets a smash around the head. But anyway, where is that guy these days? He's still on TV. I haven't seen that guy since I was a little kid. Anyway, that was funny as. It's a puppet. Who remembers that? Smash a one in the live chat if you remember. It's only a puppet, or whatever it was. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, the Glazers, they're shite. They're not investing. They don't truly give a shit about this football club. They're only lining their own pockets. 100% you're spot on, Gungshi. I have to agree with you entirely, and I have to completely agree with you about everything you said. And I also have to agree with everybody else and say that you're a legend, my friend. So thank you, Gungshi. I hope you're having a wicked day, mate. Appreciate all the support over the years. Thanks for watching this channel for years, and thanks for supporting this channel for years too. You're a legend. Thank you, mate. Joseph Berg says losing $100 million on top of can't get rid of players. Yikes. Yeah, very true. Ed Woodward says, Vabi have Kumar. Try not to spam, my friend, otherwise you will be timed out. It's all right. You've just taken a little chill for 5 minutes. You will be back, but don't spam the live chat like that. Ed Woodward comments, when your boss gives you 120 million for a player, do you know how much interest it generates to live in the bank for 6 months and pull it out on transfer deadline day? You're spot on. And not only that, how much do they save in terms of possibly being able to haggle the deal down? How much do they save in not paying Jadon Sancho's wages for an extra few months? Imagine if they had assigned Jadon Sancho 2 months ago. This is what our twatbag Glazers think about. They don't think about the points we could lose, though. They don't think about how much better that would prepare us for the season. What they think about is, it would cost us £2 million over that period to pay him in wages. So we'll just sign him last day of the window. That is how they bloody think, these twats. Honestly, that's probably a big factor in it. Unbelievable. You're right, though. The interest that would get. Yeah, good point. Adebayo Flowers comments, I'm back. Smash a like, guys. Adebayo Flowers, thanks for being a regular in here, man. What a legend. Everybody, if you haven't done so, smash the like button, as Adebayo Flowers says. Elysium NZ comments, probably your first signing should be a director of football. Woodward has nothing on Edwards. Oh, 100%, man. Edwards, to be honest, Ed Woodward's a clown. He shouldn't even be doing this job for United anymore. He's proven that he's incapable. It's just that he is that yes man for the Glazers. But you're so right. If we could get anybody this window, it should be a director of football, but it won't happen. Hey, it's Hayden Alessandro, man. I wondered where you'd been, Hayden. I figured you got pissed off at me or something and done one. You legend, man. Hayden, great to see you, bro. With the 1999 Super Chat getting in here. Legend, man. He says, yo, Mr. Pig. Sorry I haven't been active on the channel recently. Work is utter madness. Legend, but I hope you're all safe and sound over there. I'm loving the mug also. The channel is doing great. Hayden, man, thank you. So everybody, stick a love heart emoji in the live chat for Hayden Alessandro for that touching message, man. Thank you, Hayden Alessandro, dude. Really appreciate that. And yeah, you got the mug, did you? So you ordered one of those flying pig mugs. My one's dirty, so it's not going to give you a good service, but this is filth. It's got coffee stains on it where I was drinking coffee out of it earlier. You know when you get coffee dribbled down the side. But Hayden's got himself one of those, have you, Hayden? You nutbag. Legend. Hayden Alessandro, thank you so much for that, Hayden. You're a top lad. Really appreciate that. I'm glad to see you back around as well, honestly. It's great to have a bunch of new legendary subscribers such as yourself. And I hope work's going well, man. I understand. I'm only joking. I understand. Obviously, people have work commitments and they're busy and they have to go away for a little while. I got a couple of messages over this pandemic, in fact, from people who are working, from legends of this channel who you probably haven't seen for a while, who I won't mention because they're doing great work, who are doing bits and stuff in hospitals and things like that over the COVID pandemic, and they've just been ridiculously busy. So I understand, obviously, people have got loads of work to get on with. Nice one, Hayden. He sticks those love hearts in there. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. Legends, guys. Thank you. Right then, a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap this up. I said I didn't want to make it last longer than 90 minutes. What are we on now? I think we are. Oh, yeah, shit, we're over 90 minutes. Okay, well, let's get a couple more questions answered then. And then we will be back later for a Brighton preview anyway at 6:30-ish. Around about there, we'll be previewing the Brighton game. And also tonight at 9:30 for an evening transfer roundup. If there's any more revelations, which hopefully there will be. Hopefully good ones. Young Wizard says 3-1 Brighton prediction. Fair play to you, lad. Yeah, we'll get into that in the preview. Catty Lee, how you doing, Catty? Comments. We need a good centre-back. 100%. Don't see it happen in this window. I agree with Cantona 7 earlier, actually. That I think it was Cantona 7 who said it, that we might go for one in January. We'll probably get Sancho and Tellez now, and we might go and get him in January. Big God Bob says, LOL, these spammers, I don't even put my comments twice, and some of them are genius, even when drunk. Big God Bob, you are a card, aren't you? You do have a good character. You do have some good comments, I must say. They do entertain me. Thank you, Big God Bob, for getting in here with your bants. Gungshi says, has anyone seen this man? No, nobody has, mate, unfortunately. Simon Cowie, great to see you, Simon Cowie says, hi, Pig, I'm sorry I'm late. Better late than never, Simon Cowie. We are basically wrapping this up right now, though. But you can go back and rewatch the vid for a bit of an update. But great to see you, Simon Cowie. Thank you so much for joining in. And really blown away by the support from you lads today. You know, Matty Rush, Hayden getting in here, G-Wolf, Gungshi all sending the super chats over and stuff. It's mad. But like I say, the best thing you can do to support this channel, you know, I read everybody's comments out. You know this about me. It's not just the people who are sitting on the satin cushions in their ivory towers. No, I will read comments out from everybody, but it just does blow me away that people do support this show that way. So thank you, guys. Matt Rush says we've hit 271 likes. Get in there and smash that like if you haven't done so already. Shout out Some888 Leela. Shout out Jude F. Kennedy says the real question is how are we going to offload all this dead weight? I'd say strap a big 1-ton weight to it and throw it over a cliffside, my friend. That's the only way we're going to get rid of this dead weight at United. Nobody's going to come in and take these Gashtastic players off our hand who are being paid a shit ton of money. No way. Palmerius, nice one. Kayam's going 2-0, but he's not confident. Blendy says, hey, Pig, how are you? What do you think about the game? I'm good, Blendy. I'm actually going to keep my thoughts on the game tomorrow close to my chest because I'm doing a preview at 6:30ish for the game. So come back then, watch the match preview. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on predictions, selections, all that stuff in the video. So come back then and get involved. Thank you, Fingers988, you legend. Primot says, come on now, Kayam, that's just COD. What did Kayam say? He said 2-0 Brighton, I'm not confident. Yeah, that's COD. We're not going to lose 2-0 Brighton. I didn't think we were going to lose 3-1 at Crystal Palace, though. I said, what did I say? What did I say going into the Palace game? Did I say 5-0 or something? I don't know. Hayden says, must win tomorrow, no draws. It's a must win. You're right. If we don't win that one, the pressure is instantly on and it will be pure filth. And Ollie will be feeling it and, you know, who knows what will happen. Tonk Nash as well, legend says, why don't we just take the hit and get rid of them? Yeah, well, I think we probably will do that on some players. The problem is, you can't just terminate contracts because, say Phil Jones has a couple of years left on a 130 grand a week deal. That means that you are contractually obliged to pay him, unless you agree a settlement. But you're basically obliged to pay him for the remainder of the contract to terminate it. Maybe a percentage, it depends. Sometimes it's worked out differently. They have clauses in there. But, you know, you have to pay a lot of money if there's a long-term contract to terminate a deal. And Phil Jones is a player that maybe somebody would buy, but it's just unlikely with the amount of wages. I think you could probably get him off your books if you pay a certain amount of the wages for the remainder of the contract. But then that's terrible because you're paying a player to play for another team, which is terrible. So you're sort of caught between two difficult, hard places here. What do you do? Do you terminate them and fork out loads of money? Or do you hope that somebody comes in and signs him and pay him to sit on the bench and do nothing? It's a nightmare, man. It's just awful management from the top down, really, from when they actually have sorted out these contract extensions and these wages for these bang average players. That's all it is. They've had a nightmare. So the other thing is you wait it out. I mean, look at Jesse Lingard now. We were talking about yesterday this chance that Jesse Lingard is talking to other clubs in this window now. There's been no offers yet, but he is supposed to be interested in moving away because he did sign with a new agent a year ago, didn't he? And he's probably hankering for a move away because he's only got 1 year left on his contract. He's got United to have the extension, the option, I should say, to extend for another year. But other than that, it's like, well, you know, he's going to have to go soon or we're going to free transfer him, you know? So, yeah, hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully we don't extend it. That would piss me right off. If the news came out that United had taken the option to extend Jesse Lingard's contract, I would shit the bed, my friends. 21 Nick P says, I would loan the Deadwood out and get the other team to pay half the wages so it eases our wage. But yeah, that's very true, like Real Madrid did with Bale or what we did with Alexis Sanchez. You're so right. That's a possibility. 6 times think it's going to be 4-1 to Brighton if Lindelof plays, 5-1 if Maguire plays. Crikey. Not very optimistic. I don't blame you, though. I would think it would be somewhere around that if Lindelof played as well. Mark Alexander says, remember we got Brighton in the Cup? Yeah, that's right, on Tuesday, don't we? So we got Brighton again in the Cup. Obviously, we want to win the Premier League fixture the most. Elysium NZ says, no director of football equals poorly drawn up contracts. So true, we need proper football men in these roles. James Mose says, miss you, Bigley. Come back. Just liked your link. Like the way you analyse everything. Dude, thank you so much, James Mose. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you very much for that. I try to keep it real, just give you my thoughts on it and tell you how it is. Nothing's going to be over-exaggerated or we're not going to say there's a done deal on the horizon or there's a done deal with Tellez or there's a here we go situation or anything like that. We'll just keep it real on this channel. Catty Lee says, Dean on De Gea off. Interesting, we'll see what he does. I think De Gea will probably play in the league game and I think Dean will play in the cup game against Brighton. Joseph Berg says, nobody wants Jesse Lingard, Suarez crying leaving Barca and not biting anyone. Come on, that's a solid joke. It's not that good. I'm going to be honest with you, Joseph Berg. It's not bad. Rajon says, Ed Woodward is just playing FIFA 20 just in real life. If only he was doing that, then he might actually get some tips. I don't think he's even doing that. I think he's playing Candy Crush Saga or something, whilst just shit in the bed. Gabriel Lopez says, quite likely a 0-0 draw. Vabath Kumar says, what do you think about Phil Jones? Thank you, Vabath, for your comment. Should we play him? Will we win if he plays for sure? No, we should never play Phil Jones again. He's absolutely garbage. Get rid of him. Kang Kung says, 1-1 is the best scenario. Get realistic, people. I don't know. I think we're going to beat them. We'll see. I'll let you know later in my preview. Rewang Ditchin says, Harry Maguire is equally as bad as Lindelof. I really feel Maguire should be dropped, irrespective of him being the captain. I would really love to see how Bailly and Twanzebe would work out. Good comment there. I mean, I do think he's been disappointing. I think last year they did all right in terms of stats, but we know that they've got errors in them and he's just too damn slow. Maybe with the right partner, that's what we all keep saying. With the right partner, he'll be good. So let's see. Let's give him the right partner and see. But you're right. I mean, look, he's still never been like a really top quality defender for us consistently. Interesting comment, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's equally as bad as Lindelof. I definitely think he's better than Lindelof. He's a much better defender than Lindelof. The only thing that Lindelof's as good as Maguire at is being on the ball and passing, but everything else Maguire's better than him at. Joseph Berg says, oh, I made an effort. I'm just kidding, mate. Spot on, thank you. Clifford Day says we should let them go. Kayam says, hey, I like Candy Crush. No, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, that's fine if you like Candy Crush Saga, but I'm just guessing Ed Woodward's passing the time either sitting on the toilet, fingering pies, or playing Candy Crush Saga. That's what I imagine. Maybe him and Judge are doing, like, some cooperative mode or some shit. Who knows? Anyway, guys, Jonathan Dolby says, big up to the Bacon Brigade, being real. How many ins and outs this transfer window? United should win. I'm going 2-1 to United. Nice one, Jonathan. I think 2 more ins. Tellez and Sancho, hopefully, but if not Sancho, then probably another right winger. But I'm going 2 more in, so 3 overall with Donny. And outs, I'm going 3. 3 outs. 1 with Alexis Sanchez. I think Smalling may go to Roma or Inter, possibly. Depends on how we, what Solskjaer wants to do this season, really. And I also think we probably will get rid of one other player in this window. Maybe it'll be Romero. Maybe it'd be Lingard. But I'm not convinced that we're going to get rid of any more players because all of our players are on gash-tastic amounts of money and nobody wants them. Gungshi says, I would really like to see Twanzebe given a run partnered with Bailly Maguire. He's always been impressive when I've seen him. So true, Gungshi. Yeah, Twanzebe's really has never really put a foot wrong when I've seen him in the first team. So I agree with that. I agree with that. And I do think that we should give him a chance when he comes back to fitness. But he's got to stay fit. That's the big if. Big God Bob says, Ed Woodward is playing with himself watching Liverpool highlights. Oh, no. Jude F. Kennedy says, will Twanzebe ever be healthy? I mean, hopefully. I think he's had to have some surgery or something. Ian Barron, how's it going, Ian? He says, hi, it's the Flying Pig. It's the Mad Darlington FC fan back. Hope you're well, and I have a job interview on Tuesday. Get in there, Ian Barron. Yes, hope you get the job, mate. Thank you so much for stopping by again, lad. Joseph Berg says, God, remember the days when a kid like Mbappe would take less money to play for Manchester United? Oh, those days were the days, Flying Pig. Oh, yeah, we used to have the pick of every player in the world, man. At one point, more or less. I mean, not every player, but United could go to teams like Tottenham and poach their players. We could go to Everton and poach their players. We could steal Wayne Rooney off of them. They can do nothing about that. They couldn't stop that happening. We're too big of a club. Same goes for Berbatov and Carrick and we're taking big players off of other big clubs. Arsenal, RVP, Sanchez, whoever, okay, Sanchez, bad example, but RVP, taking players off of big teams here. That's what United does. We're a massive club. But unfortunately, times have changed. We can't do that anymore. DJ Fame, shout out to you watching from Sierra Leone, man. He says, Man United must win tomorrow. I'm definitely wishing my Man United signed Sancho. Thank you, brother, for the update. Legend, Fame DJ, 93.7 FM, Yennytown, Tonkolili District. Shout out to you, mate, and shout out to the radio station there, Fame DJ, 93.7 FM. Nice one. Nice one. Shout out, DJ Fame. Primot, keep doing your thing, DJ Fame, mate, over there, lad. Sounds good. 21 Nick P says we need to bring Rio Ferdinand and Vidic out of retirement. They would do better than this current regime. I bet you. I bet you if you put 40-odd-year-old Rio and Vidic in there with their understanding and partnership, they'd do better. I am Neil. Have I tried Pez Pig? Not the new one. I tried, the last year's one. RVP says Joseph Berg. Mr. Cialek says, do you think that we should get Traore for over 10 million if Atlanta say so? Yeah, he seems like a good player. 18, he can have a role in the team now. Not a big role, the same sort of role as Mengi, like being a backup and developing. But he could still, we should definitely get him for the future. Yes, Matt Rush says subscribe to the channel. Gungshi says Sierra Leone in the house. Shout out to Sierra Leone. Gerard says Woolwood out, pig in. Thank you, man. 666 times. Says, can you really see yourselves winning 2 Champions League during this 30-year title drought? Mate, Liverpool are shite, mate. They've won one freaking Premier League in the last 30 years since I've been alive. That's how shit they are. Okay, enjoy your glory. Ascender, how you doing, man? I'm sorry, I'm actually going to wrap this video up now, so I can't really give you an update on... Oh, Sancho, yeah, yes, 50-50, my friend. 50-50. Beef Bully, what's going on? He says, oink oink, mines, ins, Teles. Hopefully Sancho out, Smalling, Romero, Jones. I hope the latter, please. I don't see anybody buying Jones, but I would love it. Jonathan Gallagher says, pig in, Glazers out. Thank you so much, Jonathan Gallagher, for being a legend and always commenting as well. Appreciate everyone who comes back after the video and comments on the video in the not live comments too. I love interacting with you in there and having a bit of debate with you guys about United or anything we've talked about. Primot says, I'm up for a drunken FIFA tonight, Pig. Just a suggestion. Friday night drunken FIFA. Nice one. Thank you, Mr. CLX, Matt Rush, Tonk Nash, 87, Ibrahim Sesse. Hi to you, Ibrahim. 666 times. Jonathan Gallagher, Ed Woodward, Matt Rush. I'm going to wrap this video up now, lads and lasses, because it's getting a bit long. But thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the update today. Look, I wish there was more solid news. Tellers is looking likely, but we just cannot get that agreement done. We're lowballing them, they're highballing us, and we're trying to hopefully meet them in the middle soon. Hopefully something will be announced in the next couple of days, but it could take a bit longer. Sancho, 50-50 whether that's going to happen. All the reports suggest that United are still going to table a final offer to Dortmund before the window closes. That's what we understand. So come back in a few minutes' time, lads and lasses, when you have, when this is finished and have your say in the not live comments. Let me know anything you want to discuss or your thoughts on anything we've discussed in this video. Shout out More Music TV. Shout out ELB, 21 Nick P, Ryan Lee. What the hell? All of these rhyme. That's weird. Anyway, Rewan Ditchin, Big Cop Bob, Jude F. Kennedy, thank you, Jude. Harvey Goddard, hi to you too, mate. Have a cracking day. Adebayo Fawaz, Gungshi, of course, you absolute legend. He says, Pig, you're the only United YouTuber who takes time to reply to comments. Well, it's not that hard, is it? I don't understand why these other twat channels don't do it. It takes I can answer pretty much everybody's comments who comes back afterwards in 20 minutes or something. It's really not that hard, Anyway. Nice one. Ibrahim Cisse, Matt Rush, TJ Fame, Simon Cowie, Hayden Alessandro, great to have you back. Jonathan Dolby, thank you, Jonathan. Paul Vanderbeek, what a legend. Yeah, see you 6:30-ish, lads and lasses. Thank you, Paul, for reminding me. I'll be back for the preview for the Brighton game later, around about 6:30. And we'll also do the transfer show tonight at 9:30. Showbas Patchicam, have a wicked day. Joseph Berg, Primot, a legend of the channel. Thank you so much, mate. You have a cracking evening. Suji Sabar as well. Hello to you. Showbas Patchicam, Jonathan Gallagher, Beef Buddy, DJ Freem, Luke Fort, Gunji, Ed Woodward, Mr. Cialek, sorry, and everyone else, legends among us. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate you watching. Smash that thumbs up button if you have not done so already. Leave a cheeky little like rating on it. That will help boost this channel and help us compete with some of the bigger melts. Matt Rush says we've got 292 likes. Let's smash it to 300, boys and girls. See you later on. Have a great evening. Have a great afternoon. Adebayo Fawaz, Gungshi, Gabriel Lopez, Joseph Berg, Matty Rush. See you on the next one. This is the big... And come on, United. Now's the time to sort your bloody lives out. Legendary show, guys. Thank you for getting in and interacting with me throughout. Love chatting with all you legends. Love talking football with you guys. Get in there, my son. I love this shit. Sorry for the language. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you, in a couple of hours' time, not even that long away now, to do the Brighton preview. So keep a lookout for that. And also, we'll have a little cheeky evening transfer show around about 9:30ish, talking about hopefully some more movement. But if there isn't any, then I don't know what we'll talk about, but might just play bloody FIFA or something. Ascender, Hayden Alessandro, Rewang Ditchin, Jude F. Kennedy, Matt Rush, all these legends in the live chat sticking around. Adebayo, Joseph Bug. Have a great day, everyone. This is the Patreon credits, by the way, just to say thank you to all the patrons, such as all these legends on the screen, or tier 2 channel members, Gangshi, Mr. YOLO Man, Matty Rush, everybody that's associated with this. This is for you. Thank you guys for supporting the show in that way. But like I say, the most important thing you can do, or the best way you can support the show, is by liking the video, sharing it around with your mates, telling people about it, and getting involved in the live chat. Legends. Have a great day. See you later. This is the big... I'm out of here.